Hey guys, All Sports 83 back with another edition of XFL Casual, and it's time to preview and do predictions for week number 3 and all 4 matchups in the XFL. Now, I am 4 for 4 so far in the overall season, so I'm really hoping to turn things around and make things a little more successful. But let's not waste any time. This is going to be a quicker video. I'll explain a little bit about that in a minute, but let's go ahead and get started with the first game. The first game of the week is the Sea Dragons at the Vipers, and the first thing about this game is that I think this is the potential of being the highest scoring game of the week. I say that because the offensive rosters for both teams not only look good, but have performed well in comparison to the rest of the league. Now, I'm not going to count that rainy monsoon game last week for the Vipers. That was kind of an outlier. I thought they looked pretty good in week 1. Really, it's been the turnovers for these teams that have kept them from victory, not offensive production. So I look for both teams to score, and this should be an entertaining game. I do have the win going to the Sea Dragons 25-19 for their first victory of the year. I just think that Brett Hundley and that offense, they need just another week or two or so, something like that. They're still working on the chemistry. He's still got to get things going. I think he will. I think they're going to start turning it on late in the season. That was my prediction in the beginning. But I do think the Sea Dragons have the edge here. And I also don't think that Ben DiNucci is going to continue to turn the ball over the way he did in the first 2 weeks. I think he rebounds this week, and I think Seattle protects the ball enough to get that win. Next up is the Battlehawks at the Defenders, and everyone is labeling this as the game of the week. It's a battle of the unbeatens, and what I hope is a North Division rivalry. For me, the key for both teams is how they're going to rebound offensively after struggling last week. Now, I know the weather played a factor for DC, but they still need more consistency overall. As for St. Louis, they have sputtered offensively in both of their games in the early season and have needed to rely on defense and late-game heroics to be 2-0 going into week number 3. Now, that's exciting for us, but it's no way to live as a football team. I do think that fortune runs out this week, and the Defenders get the win 18-15. I still have doubts about the Battlehawks' offensive line, and that will be the difference for me in this game. It will be close, but the Defenders are the more complete team, in my opinion, right now. Now, very quickly, I do want to say one thing about this game is exciting for me anyway. I'm actually going to be in attendance in DC for this game coming up on Sunday at 1 o'clock. My wife actually surprised me, wanted to go to a game, and so this is the closest location for us where I live, so we're going to hit the road early in the morning and head out and watch this game on Sunday. So that's why this video is a little quicker this week, and I'm not sure about how some of the other videos coming up are going to be because I have some other traveling for work that's going to be coming. But I'm excited to attend my first ever XFL football game. I'll try to take some videos, take some notes, and perhaps do a video about my experience in going to an XFL football game. But I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm excited about it, and you let me know if you're going to be going into any games. Let's move on to the next game. The Guardians are at the Renegades in game number 3 for week number 3, and the consistent theme is this season, the Orlando is outmatched here. The only problem with that is the Renegades offense has been terrible and could keep the Guardians in the hunt. And in football, you don't give a team hope. Just ask these Renegades what happened in week number 1. But as a straight-up matchup, I'm going to go with the masses here. I'm giving the win to Arlington 16-11. Depending on turnovers, this could be a close matchup, and I won't sleep on it. The key will be if the Renegades' offense continue to be flat. I do see this as a low-scoring game based on what I've seen out of these teams in the first 2 weeks. If so, this game could be in doubt to the end if the turnovers continue to be a problem and if this offense for Arlington continues to fall flat. And let's not forget about all the coaching changes, or all the personnel changes, that Coach Buckley committed to in Orlando after last week's game. Maybe this game turns into a wild card. And the last game of the week is the Brahmas at the Roughnecks. This could be a nice way to cap off the week's lineup of games. These are 2 solid teams with competent quarterback play. Jack Cohn for San Antonio may have to be a little bit more of a game manager this week, though, as the Roughnecks have looked unstoppable in weeks 1 and 2. I think this game comes down to a key play or a turnover, and I think it's going to go pretty well. I think this is going to be a fun game to watch. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to go against the grain, and I'm going to say the Brahmas get the win. It's a surprise win, 23-22. I don't think this would be a big surprise, given how good the Brahmas really have shown to be this year so far. Don't forget that the Brahmas were, their loss in week number 1 was really on a crazy chain of events, and they looked really sharp last week. Likewise, I don't see any team in the XFL winning every game, and this just looks like a spot where Houston could drop one here. Doesn't mean they're a bad team. I just don't think any team's going to win them all, and the Brahmas are certainly a good enough team to take it to Houston here and possibly sneak into Houston and get away with a victory. So I'm going to go with that. We'll see how it plays out. I do think it's going to be a fun game, and I do think it's going to be a good way to wrap up week number 3 of the XFL season. Well, there you have it, guys. Those are my picks for week number 3. As always, I'm excited to know what you think about these picks. Again, I'm excited to attend an XFL game this week. It should be a lot of fun. I'll let you know how that goes as well. But until then, I hope to hear from you, and have a good one.